Welcome back to another edition of the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel. I'm writing a book that's going to be published in May called The 21 Reasons You Need a Roth IRA. And I'm going to talk about 21 reasons why you need a Roth IRA, of course. But there are some reasons that a Roth IRA does lead some consequences that you might be ignorant of. And I'm going to start with that premise here today because I just read this article from Kip. Well, I've read it before, but I just revisited it from Kiplinger's today while I was talking via YouTube, actually, with a guy on how Roth IRAs in college funding, your ability to use Roth IRAs and how it can affect your financial aid. And there's a lot of misinformation about this, lots of misinformation about how Roth IRAs affect financial aid. And I just got to tell you, Kiplinger's is just a wonderful group of people here. They write wonderful stuff. There's stuff on Social Security. There's stuff on retirement taxes. I tell you, it's probably one of the best mags that you can subscribe to. I have no idea what the subscription, probably $50 for a year or something like that. I don't know, but it's absolutely well worth their money. Just they have a ton of good information. Now, this article is from 2012, so somewhat dated, but the rules haven't changed. And it's how Roth IRAs affect financial aid ability from Kimberly Langford. I don't know her, but I like the article. So let's go over it. I think it's important for you to understand, especially like me. I have 4 kids. My first is getting ready to go to school. Now, we're not – you have 1 income and 4 kids that just started a business. Trust me, if I had a big issue with paying for school, we'd be concerned for sure. But the facts are she's going to Georgia Tech on an in-state scholarship. So the Zell Miller, bless his heart, who just passed away here in Georgia, if you received a certain GPA in high school and you get in, you get the Zell Miller scholarship, which is just wonderful, wonderful benefit of living in the state of Georgia. So she's going to Georgia Tech for like $18,000 a year or something like that. You can't beat that. See, when I got out of the Army in 92, I went to George Mason for $7,700 a year. That was 26 years ago. So she's going to go to Georgia Tech, study computer science and linguistics for $18,000 a year. That's a smoking deal. Some of these other schools we're looking at, they're giving her money. Like Rice is going to give her some money, Northeastern, a bunch of money. Notre Dame wasn't going to give her much, but all these, good schools are going to give her money. But even with the money they were giving her, we're still talking $30,000 or $40,000 a year. I don't know how people can afford that with just one child. And, we have 3 coming up behind her. So we'll see if my other 3 have the academic chops as she does. At the end of the day, it's fine. They got to do whatever they got to do. If they want to go serve in the military for 4 years and get the JAB bill, hey, I'm fine with that too. If they want to go to community college for 2 years, then transfer over, I'm fine. I don't care. At the end of the day, you're still so doggone young. Just don't graduate with a ton of debt, folks. All right, that's my little diatribe. So here's what Miss Kimberly says. She received this. We have 2 daughters who have both earn some income from part-time jobs and are eligible to make Roth IRA contributions. We'd like to help them start building their retirement savings by matching what they contribute. This is one of my chapters, actually, in my 21 Reasons You Need a Roth IRA book. Will owning the Roth in their names affect their ability for financial aid? So the answer to that is no. We don't need Kimberly to tell us that. Having a Roth in of itself doesn't affect your ability for financial aid. It doesn't in the least because you're not taking the distribution out. It just sits there. The problem is, in fact, that's what Kimberly says, money in your daughter's Roth won't affect their aid eligibility as long as they don't make withdrawals. Retirement account balances such as Roth, IRAs, and traditional aren't reported as assets on the FAFSA, regardless of whether they're owned by the student or the parent. So what you own and what they own, it doesn't matter. The FAFSA doesn't look into that. But distributions from retirement accounts are reported as income on both applications. Distribution from retirement accounts to include Roth IRAs. And here's Deborah Fox. So I've never met her, but I do read her stuff, and she's great on if anyone knows about college funding, it's going to be Deborah Fox, that's for sure. The key is exactly what she says here, and this is what I talk about in my book. And some of that is based on some of the readings I've got from old Deborah. Deborah, I don't know if you're old, I'm just saying that from Miss Deborah, is do not withdraw the money until you no longer need financial aid. And that's the critical thing. So the guy I was talking to on YouTube smart guy. He said basically there's a, if you withdraw the money as a freshman in college, that won't affect you because your freshman eligibility is based on your income as a junior in high school. But that's true, and I agree with that. But the problem is, are you still not going to file financial aid, the FAFSA, for your junior and senior year? Yeah, you're gonna. So what some of the folks talk about that I read and what I advocate in my book is don't use your Roth IRA or any IRA for that matter as a distribution in your freshman and sophomore years. Take financial aid if you need to, for sure, but then use the Roth and your traditional, whatever the distributions are, use it in your junior and senior years, because at that point you can it won't be included in FAFSAs anymore. And then once you graduate from school, you can pay it off the loans you took out as a freshman and a sophomore. So again, the issue would be take out the student loans as a freshman and a sophomore. In a junior year, go ahead and pull your money out of your Roth if you have enough to cover the tuition. I mean, my goodness, it's not cheap. In your senior year, go ahead and pull it out again to essentially to pay off the other loans that you've accumulated or to just pay those years. So basically, you're going to take 4 years of distributions from your IRAs, 401ks, Roth IRAs, and whatnot. But don't take the distributions in year one, freshman year, or year two, sophomore year. Wait till you're a junior, wait till you're a senior, then take the distributions so that way they will not be affected your financial aid. Hope this makes sense. I can't recommend reading Deborah Fox's stuff enough. Wonderful advice there for college funding for sure. A lot of people have a certain specialty that gets them excited. College funding, I'm okay at it. I'm good. My specialty actually is on the tax side of it, not to do your taxes, to make sure we're taking all the deductions and whatnot, but to actually analyze the 1040, make sure that you're not going to get killed going forward, because my thing is being proactive. I want to make sure the tax planning that you're doing today will save you big bucks in the future. And I don't think a lot of accountants do that. And I don't blame them. They just don't have the time. Proactive tax planning is important. That's more what I do. That's what gets me fired up. Someone like Deborah Fox, though, what gets her fired up would be college funding for sure. Someone will be special needs children, setting up special needs trusts. That's what they'd be fired up about. Find that person who specializes in that area. Stock options. I know enough, but that's not my area of expertise by any stretch of the imagination. Find a person who specializes in that field, and that's who you want to talk to when it comes to financial planning, because they'll know it like the back of their hand. I know tax planning. Absolutely. I love it. I know college funding enough, but if I'm putting my own kids in school, I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to Deborah or someone who knows college funding, because I want to make sure they get the right information, because let's just say there could be some misinformation out there. Let's just leave it at that. All right. Hope this helps you on your own planning for college. As always, don't hesitate to comment down below. What's your experience with college funding? Did you have to put kids your own thing? How's it been? In terms of your own ability to use the FAFSA, financial aid, student loan debts, the whole thing. I'd love to hear them for myself personally, because I graduated in 1997, so it's been over 20 years since I was in school. And now that I got my first of 4 coming in, things have changed drastically. So any kind of information you could share with me, I'd love to hear. So put it in there. Don't forget to subscribe. Always hit the notification button to the little bell to be notified. And then finally, thumbs up. Thumbs up go a long way for me to get the word out of my YouTube channel. Look forward to seeing you next time on the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.